What's up, guys? Welcome back to RollPlay Ehbon week number 9, the week of the reboot. Let me unmute everyone. All right, you guys enter into this wizard shop. As you enter in, you notice that everything inside has a purple hue to it, whether it's a fabric or a chair or just the lighting inside is somehow darker than what it would be if it was light. The blinds are purple. There's not much light actually seeping in. There's a candle on the counter. However, there's no one behind the counter at this point in time. And there's some trinkets around. Just Ricardo, you would know these to just be different reagents for different spells. You see them in a couple jars on different sides of the room. And apart from that, it just looks like a normal wizard shop.
Did anything run away while we were on break?
No, you guys entered the building and the horse is still there.
Fuck you.
Ricardo must be very relieved.
Oh, I was so concerned, but it looks like Argo's staying in place.
So, will my horse always stay in place when I ask it to, or do I have to roll every time?
You only left him seconds ago. Do you go outside and look on the horse?
Yes.
I mean, he's kind of still standing there. Or he is still standing there at this point in time.
But every minute that passes is another minute he might escape.
We'll see.
Can the horse fit inside the shop?
No.
Can I tie my horse to the doorknob?
If you want to.
But you're metagaming.
No, that's not really metagaming. You can
I
tie
don't
the
think
horse
this
to the
is-
doorknob if you want.
I don't have the chat open.
That's not metagaming at all. You can tie the horse to the doorknob if you want.
Will it stay there? Am I not allowed to know that?
You can't predict the future. You only know what's happening right now.
I guess that sounds like the safest option. Okay, so I'll take some rope off of my saddle pack or the back of the saddle, and I'll fasten Argo to the doorknob.
Okay. He's fastened
Okay.
to the doorknob.
And I'll go back into the shop.
You shut the door?
No, I'll leave it open so I can see Argo standing in the pathway.
Okay. The door opens inward, so as you open the door inward, he kind of gets tugged along with it, but he doesn't freak out or anything. He just kind of
That's
moves
okay.
forward slowly.
I'll pet him on the front of the face, and then I walk inside.
All right. Door's wide open. You guys see Argo attached to the door by rope. Once again, no one's in the shop that you can see at this point in time. What do you guys do?
Is there?
What was his name?
Knock on the counter.
When you knock on the counter, he's like, "Yes, 1 second." You hear some footsteps once again. Seems to be above you. Very rapid, as if he's kind of frantic right now. And he walks downstairs. He's got a purple robe on, long beard. His hat's actually kind of tilted, as if he just put it on. And his beard's it doesn't look like it's been combed recently. It's frayed and it's all up in his face. He doesn't look like he's had time to pull himself together. He goes, "What can I help you with?"
His girlfriend needs to tell him to wash his hair. We're here about...
And he goes, wait. What is that at the door? Why is there a horse attached to my door?
You didn't have a rail for us to tie the horse up to, so where do you expect us to tie a horse up to? You should really be more conscious of your customers, sir.
And he goes, "Whoa, buddy, you need to kind of tilt."
Sorry,
He puts his head on straight. He's like, "You need to relax there." But
I'm so sorry. It's a rough day. Nick? Is that who we're here for?
Nick, have you seen him?
We're here to talk to you about Nick.
He goes,
When was the last time you saw Nick? Where was he?
I was reciting to young Nicholas the tenets of a young wizard about a week ago, but I'm the brother. You're looking for David.
Yeah, we're looking for David, yeah.
David! There we go. Nick, David, same thing. David, when was the last time you saw David?
He goes, "Well, he lives right next door to me.
Isn't he missing?
No,
Nick
Nick
is
No,
missing.
David's
Nick is the
not
son
missing.
of David. Jesus, Rich, let us do the talking.
Okay, sorry guys. I'm just so hungover today. Oh. Okay, never mind. You take the lead, Ricardo. Just don't
All
fog
right.
him.
I won't fog him. He's a magician as well, quite clearly. Your robes are quite impressive, sir. What's your name?
He kind of pushed like as if he was wearing overalls. He like picks his robe up and he's like, "Well, thank you, sir. You look very well yourself." He goes, "My name's Zandreal. What's yours?"
Zandreal? My
With
name.
a Z, Zandreal. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. My name is Ricardo Del Mar.
What a
I am
beautiful name.
actually. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. A lot more comes with it, but I mean, yeah, you seem like a cool guy. I'll spare you the troubles of listening to my entire name.
He looks to the party and he's like, "All right, yeah, okay."
I like you, Santa.
You're lucky.
Cool. So yeah, I guess. Have you tried looking for David? I mean, you're a magician yourself. For Nick, I mean.
He goes, I've looked for the boy. I have a shop to run though, and I can't.
Really, your
mean-
nephew? You have a shop to run.
You know how I search for the boy when I can, but it's been a while. It's been a week now. I've tried to tell David he's gone, but he doesn't believe it. I think he's gone. It's a sad thing, young Nicholas.
Would you mind if we searched the shop just in case he's hiding here?
He looks. He's like, "Yeah, sure, dude. What you see is what you get. My bedroom's upstairs. If you want to search that."
Okay, I'll go
Well, you
upstairs.
do sound pretty. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Does anyone go with Riley to go upstairs?
I'll go upstairs with Riley.
Okay. I'll start.
Okay.
rummaging.
As he walks upstairs, I said, "I was right though. I asked about Nick at the very beginning."
He goes, "Yes, you were, sir. Yes, you were."
I don't know why you guys are giving me shit.
As he so like he lets you walk by. He basically just turns to the side, and you guys walk by, and you go up this kind of winding staircase. It winds to the right to go upstairs.
Do
and-
any of the stairs sound hollow?
Are you like actively like knocking on them as you're going up?
I'll just kind of stomp on each one as I go up.
Give me a perception check, which is D20 plus your perception, which I think is 12. Yeah, from what you can tell, none of the steps have a hollowness to them.
Okay, I keep going up. Tap on some walls, I guess.
Okay. Well, to describe it, as you're winding up this staircase that curves to the right, you start to see, as you keep continuing up, there's probably, 15 steps that you have to take to get up there. You start to see that there's like ripped pages, and that as you get closer and closer to being into his bedroom, it's just a fucking mess. It looks like this guy just lives in like the worst room, where there's manuscripts all around the room. Nothing is in order. You can see a plate that has what looks to be last night's dinner on it, and then right next to that you see a whole stack of plates all with food on them that looks like they're decaying and rotten, as they've been there for quite some time. And as you look over to the right, there's a bed that's not been made at all. Just the room is in complete and utter mess. It's just
Ricardo, you check his main bedroom, and I'll check the other room.
Sounds good. As a magician, do I see anything that looks cool?
I mean, you recognize a couple of the manuscripts, some of them just to be different writings about the arcane. No spells or anything like that you can decipher. I mean, how close are you looking? Really close? Are you like picking up stuff and reading it?
I'll pick up stuff that looks cool. Like if it's
Okay. I mean, you pick up a piece of paper that seems to be very finely written. There's a lot of symbology on it. As you try to read it, you can pick up some things on it. It talks about a cult that seems to be worshiping this blood god. You don't know anything about it. You only know that it says cult worships blood god. It looks like as you get to the end, as it starts to go into kind of the practices of this, it's actually been torn off. And then as you look through the other stuff, it just seems to be simple writings about the arcane, about how spells work, about how one thing mixes with another, stuff like that.
Okay. I call out Nick, and I guess I'll continue to look around for a little bit, and then if I see or find nothing, I'll just go downstairs.
Okay. As you're walking downstairs, you notice a couple things are kind of stuck to the bottom of your shoe. They're just manuscripts that have, for whatever reason, candle wax on them, as if someone's been reading them. They're stuck to your feet, but you take them off and you're back downstairs. Do you stay upstairs, Riley?
I'm still checking floorboards for any hollowness.
Okay. Downstairs, you guys hear kind of this like knocking every couple of seconds. You don't really know what it is. But it's coming from above you.
She's very heavy-footed.
I'd like to talk to the storekeeper a little bit.
Okay. What do you say to him?
Where do you think Nick might have gone off to, or do you know anyone who might have a problem with him? Also, how old is he?
Well, you asked many questions. Hold on. Nicholas is about 10 years old. Nicholas is the nicest boy I've ever met. Very smart too, very quick-witted. I don't think he has any enemies. I mean, a couple of boys. I was trying to teach him some magic so that he may one day defend himself, as he does get bullied from time to time. But
typical bullying or unusual, excessive?
I mean, just as boys do. You know.
Right. Okay.
Zandreal, let me ask you a question. Could you try to respond to the question within 5 seconds of me asking?
He
I'm
came back downstairs.
Yeah, but did we not talk to him the entire time
no.
you were upstairs?
Yeah, this is what happens.
Upstairs, we're talking.
That's true.
Yeah.
This happens as you're searching around. Sorry. Keep going, Rich.
So no one has any... Well, what about his father? Does anyone have any problems with his dad?
Goes, no, David helps me run the shop with inventory and whatnot. He doesn't know what he's doing half the time, but he helps. He lives next door. He's between me and you. David's kind of.
He kind of looks around and looks outside to make sure no one's standing in the doorway. Looks a little bit longer, still looking at this horse and wondering if he's going to tear down his door. But after about 5 seconds, he kind of beckons you closer, Rich. And
I lean forward on the table.
David's kind of been a fuck up. He hasn't had the best life, is what you could say. And I've always looked after him, but you know how it is.
And he kind of leans back and just shakes his head.
Well, does he have anyone has he made any enemies? Does he owe anyone money?
He goes, no, I mean, not that I know of. He would probably tell me that, I hope, but I never know.
So just your standard fuck up, right?
Yeah, he doesn't.
He's not in trouble. There's no one that would have kidnapped Nick.
As far as I know, no. I have not heard anything of that.
I have a question. You said that you were teaching him some magic. What kind of spells were you teaching him?
He goes, just your simple, very very easy to understand. I wasn't trying to hurt anybody.
I see. The reason I ask is, I've got a friend, my friend upstairs. He can sometimes make himself disappear, obscure himself, things like that. Did you teach him any spells like that? Maybe he doesn't know how to come back.
He looks up and he's like, "Oh, really?" He seems pretty interested in that Ricardo can do all that. He looks back at you and he goes, "Nah, the 10-year-old could not fathom anything like that. I could not teach him anything like that if I wanted to."
I lean on the table and stare him intently in the eyes and say, "Have you developed a taste for human flesh at any point in the past?"
He looks back at you. He like gets right up to where your noses are touching, and he goes,
"Haven't we all?"
And he just stares at you.
He goes, "I'm just fucking with you."
Oh my god.
I look at Cobblepot. I don't know. He's kind of mafia.
I'm not a fan of the human flesh myself.
Have you tried it?
Have you?
He like raises his eyebrow.
I have not. No.
He goes,
Neither have I. But just pull on your leg.
About this time, Ricardo walks down the stairs.
All right. Well, if you can point us to David's house, that'd be great.
He looks.
Zandreal.
He hears what you say, Rich, and he's still looking at this horse, making sure nothing's happening. And you come out from behind him, from the stairs, and he goes, "Yes."
I'll ask you 3 questions. Can you respond as quick as possible?
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
What's your what?
You didn't say I
37.
had to answer truthfully. You just said I had to answer.
Interesting. Can you answer truthfully then?
Sure, yeah.
Well, I won't believe you anymore,
Well,
Zandreal, if that's your real name.
it's not. It's Zandreal. There's no D.
Zandreal.
You gotta kind of roll. It's Zandreal. Zandreal.
Okay, guys, let's get out of here. It was nice meeting you, Zandreal.
Because you-
What happened to the
Zandreal?
3 questions?
I don't think he'll answer truthfully. It's gonna be a waste.
All right, Zandreal. Where's David's house?
He lives right next door. You can't miss it. It's a little bit darker than the rest. It just hasn't been cleaned lately. It's an eyesore here in the noble
All right.
place.
I hope that there's no problems with. I hope you're not involved in this disappearance of the child.
Well,
Be very.
I hope not either. Wasn't there 4 of you where?
And he kind of looks up. Some dust kind of falls from the
Maybe
ceiling.
one more up there.
Some
They're
dust
coming
falls
back.
from the ceiling as Caitlin, you're still walking around. What are you doing upstairs as this
Have
is happening?
I found anything under the floorboards or any areas that needs to be hidden?
No. As you what were you doing to search? Were you knocking on them with your feet, or
Yeah.
As
Looking out in the
you're
back.
walking about this floor, you notice there's actually not that much floor space because everything's covered by whether it's books or whether it's just a bunch of paper stacked upon each other. You're kind of just knocking around and you don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
I'll move some of the piles of books, just slide them around so I can top the floor there too.
Okay. Yeah, you don't notice anything.
Okay, I'll come back downstairs and then in Elvin, I'll ask Ricardo, did you find anything?
I might have, but I think we should get out of here.
Rich and Cobblepot, did you guys already walk out at this point?
No, I was gonna wait
Yeah.
for what's her face.
So Cobblepot, you started walking out.
I mean, I would walk out with the group if I wouldn't be the first one.
Okay. Rich, give me a perception check then.
Okay.
D20 plus 10.
10?
That's what.
10? Yeah.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah. So as you notice, or hear rather, Caitlin speak in Elvish, you see Zandreal's eyes kind of shift to stare at the two, as if, and he kind of is thinking aloud almost, where you can see that he's understanding what they're saying. And then if you guys want to walk out the store, you guys walk out the store.
I don't want to be the first one either.
I'll walk out.
I'll untie Argo and bring him with me.
Decisive action. I like that.
Okay. You guys are now outside of Zandreal's house. As you guys exit, he kind of shouts, "Please shut the door."
I shut the door.
Thank you.
You guys are outside.
Ricardo, you didn't need to get any scrolls or anything, did you?
Get scrolls?
I know you magic users like to, get you. I didn't know if you needed to
Oh,
buy
no.
anything there.
No, I'm not gonna buy anything from that guy right now. I found some interesting shit in his room though. It was a lot of manuscripts and scrolls referring to a blood god. Usually, I would assume those require a sacrifice, and I'm wondering if Nick could be it.
Blood god?
Yeah, I've never
I
heard
mean-
about it, so
What? in what condition were these? Were they just like lying around? Was it nightstand
Uh,
reading?
Yeah, pretty much. They were laying around, so I mean, he's clearly been
Well,
The,
let me put it to you
browsing
this way.
through them
Would a
recently.
The
wizard?
weird thing
weren't
about
very-
that, Ricardo, is, I'm pretty devout, being a cleric and all, and I've never heard of a blood god before. You know,
which
we-
is what got my attention. I've never
Well,
heard of it.
Here's my question: could it possibly be that he was just doing academic research on something and happened to have? I mean, you're a wizard, right? You study all sorts of stuff. You must have, some books about crazy evil shit lying about somewhere.
Of course, of course, and that's lying somewhere. But these were right on top of his shit. They weren't, tucked away anywhere. So he's obviously been browsing through them recently, at least,
Well, why didn't you ask him about it?
because he was gonna lie.
But we could read his reaction.
Yeah,
Tell something.
he had no reaction when he said 32 was his age. So I think we should look more into the I almost said the rap god.
As you say that, someone goes,
What?
yo, 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 yo. And you're like,
Eminem.
what the fuck?
the blood god, and then we should probably, I don't know. Do you think Cobblepot there's a library or something that would tell us more about it? We should probably
Well,
talk to.
this is
David first.
it's a big city, so we could maybe go find something like that.
Okay, I say we go talk to David first. Probably it's right next door. So
How about do you think this god is made up because you haven't heard of it, or
Well, remember. Well, actually, never mind.
You remember that campaign
Another one
that
of those bad
really
things.
didn't
Yeah,
happen?
I was gonna say something, but okay. No, it I've just never heard of it. I'm not gonna say that it's not made up, but it's very suspicious that I would have not heard of it.
did the manuscripts look old or recently handwritten, Ricardo?
JP.
What did you ask? Did the manuscripts look old?
Or recently,
recently.
handwritten?
You didn't notice the ink to be wet or anything, and it was torn on the ground. So you don't know if it was old from the fact that people have been stepping on it constantly, or old from the fact that it was torn from an old manuscript.
I say that to Riley.
Okay, so there's still a chance that this is just his own fan fiction.
I mean, yeah, but he's a magician. I doubt he would be a writer as well, and just bullshit with magic. Fantasize about magic that he actually has. So we should probably go to David's house.
Alright. Are we on our way there?
I
I
mean,
hope
it's
so.
it's right next door. Like
Oh, okay.
here's the house that you just exited, and like here's David's house. It's adjacent to it.
Okay. I'll tie up my horse to that doorknob too.
Okay. It's been tied. Do you guys enter?
Well,
Yeah,
knock.
knock, I guess.
Oh, okay. You knock and you don't get any answer.
I open the door.
Okay, you go to try the lock, and it swings wide open, and as you kind of swing the door forward, you get this waft of air coming out, and it just smells like rotten mess. Like there's just the worst. It smells like garbage, is what it smells like. Doesn't smell like rotten or anything, like rotten bodies, but it smells like garbage.
Okay.
As you enter into the room, you notice that it seems to be a one-room house. Back in the back right, you can see a bed. There's what looks to be like a dinner table to the right that seats 3 or 4 people. On that dinner table, there's 4 or 5 bottles, all of them completely empty. There's a glass that has about an inch or so of a dark, watery substance. You think it's probably liquor or something like that. There's a room at the back that has the door shut, probably a restroom or something like that. And then to your left, you see kind of where one would do dishes and whatnot. And it's just like piles and piles of dishes that doesn't have any cleanliness to it. It's all just rotten food. It just smells disgusting. What do you guys
I
do?
yell out, "Is anyone in here?"
You don't get an answer.
Alright. I'm gonna start checking the bed area, like under the bed, for anything suspicious.
Yeah, give me a perception check. What do the rest of you do while she does this?
Do you guys want to just search the room? I mean, it's not a big room. We could just all go different ways and search it pretty quick.
Yeah, I would just search around.
I
Okay.
search
So-
while simultaneously inventing the world's first clothespin, and I put it on my nose.
As well, let's deal with Caitlin first. Caitlin, you go over to the bed, and you said you're looking on the bed and underneath it.
Yeah.
When you get over to the bed, you can tell that like the sheets have been folded back as if someone has exited the bed, as if someone like got up that morning and just threw them back to the right so that they could exit to the left. And when you look underneath it, you don't really see anything. You see a couple of like children's toys that have been brushed up underneath the bed, and then a couple of pieces of dust just kind of rolling in the wind. Cobblepot, as you go to put this clothespin, which you think you've invented, you actually hear, or sorry, you actually like look over to the right and you see a bunch of them on the table.
Just because somebody else came up with it doesn't mean I didn't arrive to that invention independently.
You just say that blatantly. Like,
Yeah,
That
yeah.
counts as plagiarism.
Like I say it to myself. I'm just angry.
Ricardo and Rich, what do you guys do?
Just searching around. I guess
Nothing
perception
exceptional, just
check.
kind of like perusing, see if anything catches my eye. But I don't want to. I mean, if there's no one in the building, I'm gonna talk to the rest of the party after a cursory look about.
All right, yeah. The rest of the party looks around the room. You guys just note it to be completely filthy. And it looks like whoever has lived here or been living here has just been drinking themselves silly at that point. There's still the door at the end of the, like opposite of where you entered at the end that's been shut this entire time. What do you guys do?
Let's kick
I-
the shit out of it.
The door.
Okay. Rich goes in. Do you kick the shit out of it before Rich opens the door, Ricardo?
Yes.
Okay, you kick the shit out of this door, and give me a strength check.
D20 plus.
6. 25 or higher, you'll kick the door open.
Oh.
Forgot the slash.
There's an actual open doors stat on under
Oh.
strength.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Well, he rolled a 19 anyways. I don't think he would pass it regardless with 6 strength. You go to like kick this door, and just a loud thud happens as your foot lands on it, and everyone notices that you've done this. As your foot's just like stuck up against this this door. You can totally remove it, but that's just where it's at this particular
Do
position.
you want some help, Ricardo?
No. I was just stretching a little bit. Oh. Yeah, I'll remove my foot from the door now.
Oh, there's a door back there. Is it open?
No.
Okay. Well, I open the door now.
Yeah, Rich opens it.
Yeah, Rich, you walk up. Do you push or you pull?
I don't know. Do I see hinges on the door?
Yes. Looks like
Then
you
I
would have to pull. Yeah. So you pull the door, and
Thank God Ryan didn't get that question.
You know, like I wouldn't even know in real life that hinges would be the indicator. Like, I'm very surprised that Rich knows, but that's good.
How do you? But
What
I don't
door
think
does it
about
have?
stuff like
looked
that.
at a door?
I mean, it makes sense now that I think about it. I'm just saying, like, that's not the way I would think about it. To I don't know.
anyways, you open this door, and this smell of garbage actually turns to like sewage, and in front of you is actually a person that's got their pants at their ankles and has been asleep on the toilet, and it just smells awful. And it's just this guy that's like slouched over on the toilet. What do you do?
Is there a stick or anything that I can poke him with, so I don't have to touch him myself?
You don't see any sticks in front of you. I mean,
Alright,
Ricardo has
I
a
take out
staff.
my sword and scabbard. And
I have a
poke 'em.
staff, dude. Use my staff. Don't use your sword to poke at someone.
Well, I said with the scabbard with the sheath on it. All right, I take a staff and I poke him in the shoulder.
Okay.
David?
You poke him like once or twice and get no response, and you go for kind of a third
push
time.
hard.
Yeah,
See if
yeah.
it
The third
falls
time you push in harder, and the body kind of hits the side of the wall, and he wakes up very abruptly, and he's just like, what the fuck? And he's kind of put his hand over his
David.
eyes, and he's like, what?
David, hey, David,
What? Who the?
we're here for
I slap
Nick.
him.
You slap
You get
him?
that close to him, dude? You want to touch that?
Yeah. I'll slap
Okay,
him.
you slap him. He's like, what? What the fuck is going on? Who the fuck are all you? Why am I on the restroom? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. We found you here. Where's Nick?
He's like, I don't.
That's a pretty rough question to ask.
He looks
Yeah,
down
don't
at the.
traumatize the man.
He looks down at the ground and he's like, I don't know, and he starts like weeping a lot, pretty heavily.
You're so mean, Rich.
And as he's like looking at the ground, he sees a cup, and the cup has whiskey, and he's like, oh yeah, and he reaches down and just like leans back and starts drinking more.
I'll take
grabbed
the
the
cup
cup
out of
from-
his face.
He's like, hey, give me that back. What the fuck, man? You come in here and why the fuck are you in my house?
Because we're trying to help you find your son. Although from the looks of this place, I think he might have just run away.
Wait, you've seen Nicholas?